Hello everyone, I'm here today to do a review of The House of Doors by Tan Twan Eng, which was longlisted for the Booker Prize this year. And this is a story mainly focused in Malaysia, and it has several main characters. And the main protagonist is Leslie, who was a woman that was born in Penang, but she was white, and then she marries a man, and we met her years after her marriage. Her marriage is not very happy, and there is reasons why. There is cheating going on, and we follow her and her husband with all the mysteries in between, but there's a lot more than that. There's also a writer that is currently staying with them, who we learn very early on that he's gay. But he also has a wife and a lover, steady man lover, and he's trying to get the story of this man from China that also stayed in their house, and there's another mystery with him, and he was trying to start a revolution in China. And so we have all these main characters. Then we also have Ellie, I think her name was. It was Leslie's friend, and she was charged with murder. And there is another mystery going on there. So there are several sort of storylines and plots and twists that are combined in this story. There's also a little bit of politics on the China side, even though the book is in Malaysia, because of this man that is from China and is trying to start a revolution there. We also have thoughts on that and on the British colonization, because Penang was a British colony in Malaysia, the same kind of way that Hong Kong or Singapore were. So there's also a lot of politics in there, and also like the racial differences of being a British colony. There are a lot of little elements like that in this story, and I found that the most interesting part of the story actually were those elements, were the elements of the China situation, and the British situation, the racial situation, because I have read not that much from that like time period and part of the world. If I didn't say, this is set in the early 1900s in that area, so we do learn a lot about the politics and the situation of that area at that time. And I really enjoyed that. When it comes to characters and the story, it was a little bit less, I wouldn't say less interesting. It was a good historical fiction. I think the plots and twists and stuff were interesting enough, but also they were not very surprising. Like when they happened, some of them I saw coming, some of them I didn't, but when they happened, I was not very surprised. It was just like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and in this context, this is the thing that is happening. So yeah, for me that part was interesting enough, but it was not the main highlight of the book. And then the other thing that I think is probably why this book is in the Booker long list is because of the writing. The writing is very, very lyrical and very flowery. And I read this in audio. And normally I don't notice these things in audio as much, but in this one, even in audio, for me, it was very clear that it was very, very lyrical, which I think it will appeal to some people. For me personally, it was too much. It was overdone, it was overwritten, and I didn't enjoy that part. It got in the way. When I noticed it, it was because it was getting in the way, not because I was like, oh my god, this is so amazing. So even though I overall enjoyed the book and I'm happy I read it, I don't have anything against it. I think it's a little bit surprising to me that it's in the Booker long list, because it's not pushing any boundary at all. Like, it's very well within the boundaries that traditional literature is at, and it does that well, but it just doesn't push anything, doesn't blow any minds. It's very, very not subtle, but very established writing. It's not anything new. It's not something that I'm going to remember as one of the best books I read this year or anything like that. So yeah, for me it's fine. It's fine. This one is fine. Let me know if you have read it, what you thought about it, or if you want to read it. And until next video, bye.